and her music so beautifully. So please help me welcome my dear friend, Carrie Hillary.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, I want to wish all the fathers. I kept wanting to write on my hand because I usually put things like that in my notes. And yeah, everybody, and there's actually even, I have lots of friends that have two moms. So I figured that one of them or both of them in some capacity have been a dad. So I think anybody who has stepped up, I had a fantastic father and my very best childhood friend of 57 years, she's been an angel. But her dad was very, very instrumental and important in my life as well. So I know sometimes we don't just get ours, and sometimes ours is maybe not so good. And then we get to borrow somebody else's, or someone random will step up and be a guide for us. So I want to wish, and I want to wish my two stepsons happy Father's Day. And thank you for giving us some beautiful grandkids, 6 at this count. So the theme for the month is what's love got to do with it? My answer to that is everything. Pretty much love's the answer. To all of the things that challenge us, love has got to be a component in healing whatever's going on. So with everything that's happening globally these days, as is my nature, I tend to internalize the outer world. And it affects my spiritual journey in my little earth suit as a spiritual being having a human experience. Lately, it feels pretty overwhelming. So, as far as I'm concerned, if love can help heal what's happening, and it's the only way, for me, sometimes it's not so hard to get to that place. Am I the only one who gets kind of stuck getting into that heart space that I know I need to be in? I want to share a reading. So if you want to just take this in. Awakening to love can happen only as we let go of our obsession with power and domination. Culturally, all spheres of American life, politics, religion, the workplace, domestic households, intimate relationships, should and could have as their foundation a love ethic. The underlying values of culture and its ethics shape and inform the way we speak and act. A love ethic presupposes that everyone has the right to be free, to live fully and well. To bring a love ethic to every dimension of our lives, our society would need to embrace change. And that's a key part. I'm going to read that line again. To bring a love ethic to every dimension of our lives, our society would need to embrace change. Individuals who choose to love can and do alter our lives in ways that honor the primacy of a love ethic. We do this by choosing to work with individuals we admire and respect, by committing to giving our all to relationships, by embracing a global vision wherein we see our lives and our fate as intimately connected to those of everyone else on the planet. That's the key for me. Recognizing that there really is only one of us here, that we are all connected. So our affirmation for this Sunday is love is the faces and the life around me. Anybody besides me feeling a bit challenged bringing the love ethic to every dimension of their life? I get so stuck in the weeds sometimes with people that I just feel so diametrically opposed to. But even knowing the power of love to change and heal and transform and build a stronger foundation in society, it can sometimes be really hard for that to be enough of a motivation to actually cause us to do the work, and I'm talking work, that can alter our lives in a way that honors a love ethic. I really admire Reverend Dr. Sonia Control Smith. She's one of the leads at Centers for Spiritual Living, and she says, love becomes sacred not simply through intention, but through embodiment. We realize love not in abstraction, but in how we speak, how we listen, how we engage in meditation with ourselves, and in dialogue with others. Love asks something of us. It calls us to be present, accountable, and aligned with spirit. Pretty tall order. And yet, without that challenge, without that directive, we can be pretty ineffective. So here's the caveat, which is made pretty clear by Ernest Holmes, as he explains the science of mind point of view, and this is the slide. If we would look for a God of love, we must look long and deeply into each other. We must look away from the differences until we penetrate into the unity of the whole. Love alone reveals love. Hate but hides the gleam. I love the visual on that. That when you're loving, you reveal more love in the people that you are putting that energy toward. And when you get stuck in the weeds of being judgmental and hateful, it just diminishes that power, that light that we're here to share with each other. And this again brings up to look away from our differences and remember that we're all connected. It's so easy to only focus on the things that are divisive. That is an energy that is so rampant today, and I'm caught up in it as much as the next person. That this divisiveness seems to spill over into everything from politics to how to raise our children, how to drive, how we eat, how we show up. And we forget that we're all a part of each other, that we are all connected. And I love the line that says we must look long and deeply into each other, because when we're looking into each other, we are looking into our own hearts. We're looking into where we also are either shining or hiding the gleam, either showing up as the highest that we're able or stuck in the weeds. When we look at each other, it becomes apparent the love that we are all made of. So we must remain present, connected, and aligned with our highest good. So having that conversation, that energy exchange going, that's inside of us. But because it's in all of us, it's a shared experience. For me, the favorite living metaphor of our interconnectedness as humans is the redwood trees. I lived in southern Humboldt for almost 20 years. I've had property for over 30 up there in an ancient redwood grove. And I learned so much about redwoods, primarily because somebody tried to log them in my neighborhood over 30 years ago, and it just happened again in February. And I learned that redwood trees don't have a taproot like a lot of trees. They have a grid, a web. It spreads out in excess of 500 feet around them. And it's interwoven in a grove, it's interwoven with every other tree within 500 feet. And through that web, they share nutrients, intelligence, and in high winds, that grid helps hold them up. What a beautiful metaphor. We cannot see that grid, yet it's there. And so I always try to remember when I get stuck, that there is an invisible web that holds all of us together, and we can use it the same way to share intelligence, nutrients, support, and keep each other upright when life tries to knock us down. This is the most beautiful metaphor for this invisible interconnectedness of all humanity, that we're woven together. We're all a meaningful part of a greater whole. We're extensions of one power. And it's so easy to forget that in today's times. But if we can hang on to that, it can shift everything energetically. Here's another slide. Marianne Williamson is one of my favorite teachers. She shares this from the Course in Miracles. Love is not a feeling, it's an ability. You have an ability to love. It's a choice. You can choose to be loving even when it's difficult, even when there's conflict, even when there's pain. Anybody loved someone through pain besides me? I think this is a very powerful concept and one that we need to kind of take in. That love is an ability and a choice that we can make. We can choose to be loving in difficult situations. We can choose to show up as our highest and best. Anybody besides everybody here get stuck in old patterns of anger and judgment, shame, impatience? Just generally being PO'd about everything that somebody brings to the table that is different. With all this happening globally, I'm really, really triggered easily these days. And I have to really monitor myself more closely than I ever have in my life. And for me, I keep looking for a gift in the experience that we're having right now. For me, one of the gifts is that it's causing me to look deep, much more deeply, look deeper, dig deeper, and to come out stronger for the things that I do believe in, but to come out in ways that are loving and supportive. I keep reminding myself that the power of love is so much more powerful than anything else. And that it is the essence of what we are made of. We just need to lean into it. So I'm grateful that the work I've done over these many years has caused a pretty immediate shout out from the still small voice. It's not so still or so quiet for me anymore. It's more like a screaming siren whenever, because I get triggered. Anybody besides me getting triggered lately by just the littlest things? Because I feel like I'm so on edge with what's going on that it doesn't take much for me to kind of freak out a little bit. Boy, this is Carrie's true confessions this morning.
Yeah, it is.
So, but the voice will say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you feeling this way? And is the way that you're reacting going to make things better or worse? And that is a really powerful consideration when one is about to react strongly to something. So it doesn't mean that we have to abandon our position or our ethics or ignore our moral compass, only to temper our reactions when things come up. Because so much these days feels like an assault to my sensibilities. So if I can monitor myself and, instead of grab somebody by the shoulders and scream and say, have you completely lost touch with reality? What planet are you on? So I can just instead, I can stay touching with my soul and my heart. And at least if nothing else, stay neutral in their presence. I have a beloved family member who has moved very, 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 very far from where I am comfortable politically. And I have this constant inner conversation to reconcile what's happening as best as I'm able. Because I don't understand how someone that I'm so close to and someone who has always appeared to share my morals, my ethics, my perceptions of what's right and wrong in this world. How could this person that I love so deeply have strayed so far? Where are they getting their information? How does what they're hearing really jive with what's going on in the outer world? That's very obvious for us to see. So this has been an ongoing challenge for quite a while for me, and I can't really take claim for making a whole heck of a lot of progress because I haven't. It's a real struggle, but at least I'm aware where the challenge is. And one thing that has become really, really clear to me in all of this is the love that I feel for this person, and it's not just one person, there's many people in my orbit that are very off track from where I feel like I want to be. The love that I feel for these people is still intact. It's still very, very much present, even through the anger and the disbelief and the confusion and the frustration. That love is still there. I might not be able to act on it the way I would under different circumstances, but if anything happened to any of these people, I would still show up as my highest and best and help in any way that I could. And to me, that's one of the main outward expressions of love, is how do we show up when the rubber meets the road? I often have to remind myself of our affirmation this morning. Love is the faces and the life around me. Doesn't mean we have to agree with those faces and lives to still love them and accept them and be kind. Ernest Holmes reminds us, this is another slide. Every heart responds to the warmth of love. Every mind yearns for its embrace, and no life is complete without it. Love really is the fulfillment of the law of good. Love alone can heal the world and cause people to live together in unity and peace. So there's the key to that whole quote. That love alone can heal the world and cause people to live together in unity and peace. Science of mind and pretty much every faith tradition that I've studied teaches that love is an illuminating force, revealing the brilliance of the whole and allowing us to play in the sacredness of interdependence. That's a very Ernest Holmes way to put it. But what that means for me is that love is the answer. It's in everything that we are. It's in every kind gesture. It's in showing up and supporting people who are in need. It's in kindness, it's in compassion, and it is the most important component to what I'm talking about this morning. And this cycles us right back around to recognizing the interdependence of all of us, just like that grid, just like that root system under the redwoods. The acknowledgement that we are all connected, that there is a oneness, a web that weaves everything, every living thing together. Even though we have disagreements, love is still present when we allow it to be. It's the most powerful answer. And truly, when you really boil it all down, it's the only answer. So are you guys up for doing a little experiential? Right? Okay. I'm going to sing a little chant, and I want you to be comfortable and close your eyes. And first, I want you to picture someone you feel really aligned with. Someone who shares your values, your ethics, who you are completely at ease with. And I want you to lean into how that relationship feels and sit in that comfortable, loving energy as you picture this person. And then partway through, I'm going to direct you to do the opposite, but I will give that directive verbally. And as you're picturing this person that you feel so at ease with and so in agreement and in alignment, just kind of pull them into your heart space and feel that loving, accepted interconnectedness with that person. It could be even more than one person. Love is want you to leave that person in there, but I want you to pull somebody else that you care about, but somebody who really pushes your buttons, or someone who has you feeling uneasy, upset, unaccepted. I want you to sit with this feeling. Don't let it get inside you, just kind of have it there in front of you and observe it. These two souls to join, these two opposing energies, and I want you to hold them together in your heart. Do your best to envelope the relationship that causes you pain into the loving and healing energy of the one that's healthy. You don't have to fix anything. You just let them coexist. Lovingly encourage them to merge into a healthy white light, and remind both of these energies that love always prevails. If you want to sing this with me, I would love that, or I will sing it for you. Love is all around me. Love is all. Love is deep inside me. Love prevails, I know. Love, love, love prevails. Love, love, love prevails. Love, love. Both relationships, maybe virtually hug these energies and release them together into that white light that you were holding them in. Take a deep, deep breath and let them go. Take another deep, deep breath and send them further into the light. Love, love, love prevails. Love, love, love prevails. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. One more. Love, love. able to feel a little bit of resolution, or at least a recognition of those situations, even the ones that drive us a little bit batty. So I want to share a reading. When we truly embody love, our perception expands beyond ourselves to recognize the intricate, beautiful web that connects all of life. We begin to understand that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others and to the planet itself. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a profound shift in how we experience reality. We see the divine spark in every person, the sacred pulse in every ecosystem, and the inherent wisdom in mutual reliance. I'm going to read that line again. It's a profound shift in how we experience reality. We see the divine spark in every person, the sacred pulse in every ecosystem, and the inherent wisdom in mutual reliance. It's in this deep recognition of our shared existence and our vital connections that love truly flourishes, guiding us toward harmonious and compassionate ways of being in the world. So, as the Course in Miracles reminds us, love is an ability and a choice. So we can choose at any time to see love in the face and the life around us. We can choose not to just as well. I highly recommend us choosing to see that love in the face of everyone around us. It's a tall order, especially doing this for those who challenge us and our sensibilities, but it's work really well worth doing. So I'd like to close with a quote by one of my very favorite heroes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One day we will learn that the heart can never be totally right if the head is totally wrong. Only through the bringing together of the head and heart intelligence and goodness shall humans rise to a fulfillment of their true nature. So as I've been trying to share this whole time, love has everything to do with everything. When we remember that love is a choice, it's a responsibility. It's an ability. When we remember those things, it's easier to come from a sincere and loving and supportive place. So thank you for having me, and happy Father's Day, everybody. Namaste.